to come on the pod. With us today, we have a fantastic young man called Dominik Koepfer. Dom, welcome
What's
on.
up? Thanks for having me.
How are we doing over there?
Yeah, not bad. Still injured, so no, I haven't been playing for a while. Recovering, rehabbing, and yeah, doing the same stuff every day. A little boring, but getting there.
Good. Well, if you're wondering why I'm wearing this Tulane tennis hoodie over here, is because this is how I met Dom. I coached Dominik for 2 years with the legendary Mark Boris. So obviously got to know him very well during that time frame. Dom, tell us a little bit about where you are right now, like what's going on in your career. You just mentioned there you were injured. Are you going to be playing again soon, or where are you?
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping. It's been 7 months now since the last tournament I played. I have a partial tear in my patella tendon, so it's a pretty lingering, long-lasting injury. All started with my ankle injury last year on the grass in Eastbourne, then played the Olympics, and then obviously took some time off, and that didn't help the knee. I'm just like the load was just different from what I was used to, and then started off again and off season, and then Australia it started again, and I got to the point where I couldn't walk stairs, so I had to take some time off. Took a protected ranking. Wasn't a surgery you could do, just rehabbing and lots of eccentrics and isometric exercises and just all the annoying stuff that you don't want to do as a tennis player, but it's part of it. And hopefully, yeah, I was hoping to play some more tournaments this year, but I know it's going to be a little tight, so hopefully I'll start in Australia again next year.
Got it. So for those that don't know, can you explain to them what it means to take a protected ranking?
Yeah, so pretty much if you are hurt and you're hurt for longer than 6 months, they backtrack your ranking and they take an average ranking. So because I stopped a little late, my ranking was already in the 100s. So my protecting ranking will be around 150, but it still gets me into Grand Slam qualies and ATP qualies. So I'll have a few tournaments that I can use the protected for. I think it's 9 tournaments within a span of 9 months, I think, from the first tournament you start at. So yeah, it gives you a chance to at least get into some bigger events without having to go through the future grind and all the like lower level tournaments.
So tell everyone when you think your first tournament's going to be back.
I was hoping that was going to start in October, but it doesn't look like it. It's still not there yet. I haven't touched the racket yet, but yeah, I'm pretty positive about going to Australia in 2026. So there'll be obviously a big event to start, but yeah, it's one of the best events. So I'm looking forward to that.
Good. So one of the reasons why I really wanted to get Dom on here, obviously we have a great relationship, coached him for a couple of years, but also his story is, I think, quite unique. Just throughout his years as a tennis player, all the way from growing up as a junior in high school to where he is now. If you don't know, Dom actually got to top 50 in the world. Like he's been explaining to us now, it looks like he's going to be healthy and ready to go again. But Dom, tell us a little bit about you as a junior. Junior tennis and how you and your rankings and your level.
Yeah, tennis was always just a hobby to me. My parents both played a little bit just for fun. My sister played. I was growing up playing with my parents and my sister, and then played like 2 times a week until I was 16. And I played my first German championships, made it to the finals out of nowhere. Yeah, that was kind of the start where I was thinking, oh, maybe I should go to college, because I had a few friends that went there that I grew up with. And so I started emailing coaches in the US. I didn't go through an agency and didn't get any responses. So I was like, okay, maybe I won't play college tennis. I'll just stay in Germany and play club tennis, how everyone does, and study there and get my bachelor in something, and then start working. And then I was lucky enough to have a connection through Edgar Griffnick, like a great coach here in the US, and he knew Mark Boris because he used to coach him when he played back then. And he was like, "Oh, Mark, you should come over for a few days. Look at this guy. He doesn't have any ranking," because I didn't play many tournaments. My parents took me maximum of 2 hours away from home to play a tournament, so it was pretty Yeah, wasn't in the best spot for college, because they obviously lots of coaches go by ranking, and which makes sense. They want to see results and see if they can perform and win matches. And then Mark took a chance and came over for a couple days into the Black Forest and watched me play. And yeah, it was the only offer I had, was Tulane, so didn't have much of a choice. And then yeah, took the offer and got there in 2012, I believe. So yeah, growing up, tennis was more like a hobby. I did a lot of different stuff. Obviously playing soccer, skiing, playing golf, which I hated because it's pretty boring as a little kid, not much going on. But yeah, I love playing tennis and I was always passionate about it. And it just didn't have, I guess, the right environment to play a lot in. Like I didn't play much. I played 2 times a week. And then when I was 17, 18, I picked up a little more because I knew I was going to college.
So Dom, as a junior, didn't play. As he just said, it was a hobby. From there, he went to Tulane, where he started actually at number 5 in the lineup. The following year, he played number 1, got to top 3, maybe even number 1 in the country at one point. I can't remember. And arguably absolutely dominated college tennis. From there, he went on to professional tennis and reached a high of 49 in the world. What my message is to a lot of players out there who are trying to become professionals is everyone has their own path. Don't think for a second that because you're not ranked highly in ITFs or you're not ranked highly in college, like it's okay. Be patient. The age to reach your peak as a professional tennis player is only getting older, I believe. So the big thing that I want everyone to hear from this is you have your own path, stay patient and focus on you. So Dom, I appreciate you sharing that. Now listen, let's go on to professional tennis. If you could summarize and share one of the biggest things you've learned from pro tennis throughout your, I don't even know how long you've been playing pro now, but what are some of the biggest things that you've learned from being a pro?
I think going back from college, like I learned how to be disciplined, how to, like, if you're around 8 other guys and one guy messes up and everyone has to run, you learn how to be disciplined and how to do the right things and how to work hard. And I think a lot of guys, especially at the lower level tournaments like the futures and then starting to go into the challengers, you could see how some people just had bad habits or bad work ethic, or were like on and off, no consistency and working hard, like getting better and like trusting the process. And I think that's what I took from college, that it takes every day 100% to become a little better. And I think consistency is the key, especially in pro tennis. If you don't do the right things every day, I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that can play, like whether you're 200 or 600 or 1,000, everyone can hit the ball. At the end of the day, it comes down to who can do it week after week. And I think I was struggling with that in the beginning just because I wasn't used to losing a lot. Like you said, in college, I think my senior year, I lost one match, the very last one, to Roberto Sid because of cramps. I remember that. And then yeah, it just takes a while to adjust because you take a lot of losses, but you always got to remember, like in pro tennis, all it takes is 1 or 2 good weeks a year to make it. That's pretty much what happened in 2019. I won a challenger and then somehow made it through qualies into the 4th round of US Open, and all of a sudden it was top 100. And
Yep.
yeah, I think the key is consistency and just dealing how to take the losses and how to continue working and not letting them grind you down. And yeah, you just keep going no matter what.
So when you say that, I have a very blunt question for you, and that is, do you actually believe that college tennis prepares you for professional tennis?
Absolutely. And I think, especially in Germany, it hasn't been so respected yet as it is in other countries, maybe. I know if you look at the rankings, like in England, like the LTA, they do an amazing job, I think, because every college guy that plays well gets all the wild cards in all the tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of players are just not ready to go professional when they're 18 or 19, unless you're like Carlos Alcaraz or Yannick Sinner or Sasha Zverev. They're just on a different level, and most guys aren't that far. And I think college can prepare you not just in a tennis way, but also just like mature a little bit, because on tour you're very lonely, you're just alone, you're by yourself. And in college you have all the teammates, you have a very professional environment to work in. You have two coaches, three coaches sometimes, a strength coach, physio. You have everything that can, yeah, make you a better player and also a better person and become more disciplined and to become more, yeah, I mean, you pretty much live on your own on the tour, and you kind of learn that in college. You're away from your parents, you're away from home,
Mhm.
and but you also have fun at the same time. It's, I mean, practicing isn't always fun, but it's much more fun if you have 8 or 9 guys the same age around you. And yeah, I think that's why it was one of the best choices I could have made to go to college and prepare me for, yeah,
See, a
for
lot
what's
of
to
players, you
come.
just brought up the word lonely there, right? As professional tennis player. And a lot of people try to compare tennis and golf. And yes, okay, it is an individual sport. But as a professional golfer, you have someone with you at all times throughout the battle of competition. You have your caddy who you can lean on. What do you think about professional tennis now? Obviously, with the coaching changes, and I just personally believe that pro tennis is so lonely at times that players struggle. And a lot of things have come up recently about mental health, and I completely respect it. I want players to open up about how they're actually feeling out there. But can you explain how difficult it is out there? Like, you take a loss, you get on a plane, like what's that actually like?
Yeah, I mean, everyone probably heard about it. Like Zverev came out after, I can't remember, was it Wimbledon, I think. And I mean, he travels with 8 guys and he says he feels lonely. And then just imagine how it is for a guy coming out of college, having no money to play futures, having to travel alone without a coach, without a physio, without a real base. They just travel 40 weeks a year, so they don't have to find a home. And it's very extreme, I think, in tennis, because, like I said, if you're lucky or if you're good, you win 2 or 3 tournaments a year, and all the other weeks of the year, the other 30 weeks, you lose, you take a loss every week. And so I think it's very hard, especially coming from college too. You have a lot of things going on. You have social life, you can study, you have practice, you have a day filled of stuff. And now you're on the tour and you have to structure your own day. You're pretty much on your own. You run your own company in that sense. And if you yeah, it gets lonely and you get kind of bored as well, because you're
Mhm.
in a hotel room, you stay in a different hotel, you travel with your suitcase, you have no closet, you just like go from
Yep.
place to place, and it's very like last second, like you lose, you go to the next tournament, you win, you stay. So you can't really plan anything. Yeah, it was hard in the beginning, but I think it's important to find other things other than tennis to like keep your mind away from the court sometimes as well, especially after losses or in tough weeks. I mean, when everything is going well, I think it's easy, but then things also go bad. You can take 5 losses in a row, and I mean, you're starting to doubt yourself. And I think that's when it's most important to have
Yep.
things and have people around you that keep you away from tennis.
Best memory as a professional tennis player.
I
Oh,
would say the Olympics in Paris last year.
wow. Semifinals of the Olympics.
No, it was quarters.
Quarters.
Quarters and doubles and round of 16 against Djokovic. Yeah.
Love that. So your best memory was for your country.
Yeah, it was good. Just because of the team environment, I think,
Right.
because tennis is such an individual sport, and there you're still on your own, you play for yourself, but you're in. It was pretty much like college. You're in a dorm with 6 other guys. Just it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Um, let's switch gears and talk about money. Okay. You have made money throughout your career in prize money. Can you explain to juniors and college players how professional tennis players are looking to maximize themselves as a brand and other ways that these top players are making money?
I think you gotta look at it as, especially in the beginning when you play futures and challengers, you gotta look at it as an investment into your career, because you're not gonna make money, especially if you do it right. If you have a coach, if you have a physio some weeks, I mean, you spend 100,000 plus, no problem, with all the travel and hotels. And it's obviously very hard to come up with that money, especially in the beginning, as a future player or challenger player. like there's just not enough prize money to like come out even. So I was lucky enough to have people at Tulane support me. My dad supported me in the beginning, and then obviously once you make it, you keep investing. Like you might lose money some weeks, but it's gonna pay off other weeks. And that's how you gotta think. You can't just like save money, save money, save money, and then all of a sudden you're there on your own and don't have the results that you want. I think it's important to look at it like that. And yeah, obviously, nowadays social media is very big. I'm not very big on social media, so I probably should
Love
have
it.
done it a few years ago, but it's too late now, too old, and but
You're only 31, aren't you?
yeah, no, but like no one cares about a guy ranked 50 in the world.
See, explain that to us. Like, you're 50, you were 50 in the world. Is that honestly how professional tennis players feel at that ranking?
No, I know that like obviously there's like more attention at 50 than when you're 150, especially if you play the big events, if you play Grand Slams, that's where attention is at. But um the tournaments make money with the top guys. Like if Zverev comes plays a 250, then everyone's there to watch Sasha Zverev, not me or not us playing doubles. Like
Right.
that's just how it is. That's how their smaller tournaments make money. The big tournaments, it doesn't matter because they make their money either way. Like they don't need appearance of a top guy because they're there. But the smaller tournaments, all they care about pretty much is the top guys because I mean it's hard for them too. They gotta come up with the prize money, and if there's no spectators, then that's tough. So it's understandable and it makes sense. But yeah, I mean it's just how this world works and how tennis works. Without the top guys, the prize money wouldn't be where it's now. So like I think we all benefit from it.
So when you get healthy again and when you are ready to go, do you fully believe that you can, staying healthy, that you can get back to where you were?
Yeah, that's definitely one of my goals. I've done it before. 2 years ago, I was down to 380. Got back up actually really quicker than I thought. But yeah, obviously the big goal is to be healthy and to play a full year of tennis. I haven't done that since 2019. Haven't played Asia because I was always hurt in the fall. So yeah, maybe a few too many 3 touches in college. That's why my knees are broken. But yeah, no, that's a goal. I mean, if I wouldn't believe so, I would have quit already because I mean it's not
Yep.
fun to just rehab for a year straight.
Yep.
But I truly believe so, and I love tennis, and I know I can do other stuff after my career. So I have a few more years left. I think I feel fit, and other than the knee, nothing's really hurting. So yeah, obviously hope. I know it's a long way back, but I'm gonna try my best and just. I feel like I also changed my perspective a little bit after being hurt a lot lately. Just to enjoy every tournament, every moment. Sometimes I maybe took it a little too serious. Um, at the end of the day, it's just tennis. Obviously, it's my job, and I play to win, not to lose. So, but yeah, it definitely helps a little bit to like come a little distant to tennis and look at things a little differently.
Absolutely love that perspective. If you don't know Dom, I will tell you the biggest thing I learned from him was if there's one thing, this is for college coaches too, if there's one thing you can really look for in a recruit, it's find a way to measure their competitiveness in anything, whether it's tennis, whether it's golf, whether it's playing a card game after practice. Dom is one of the most competitive guys I've ever met. And I think that's one of the hardest things to find in recruiting is this guy's really good, but is he truly as competitive as you want him to be? And I actually put a lot of your success on that, Dom. Obviously, a very good athlete. You played tons of sports growing up, which I also think is not happening enough in kids, is someone sees someone really good at tennis and they just play tennis. I'm a big believer. I have 2 kids myself. They're going to try and play as many sports as they possibly can. And if they want to play one sport, great. If they don't, that's fine. But that's what I believe in. And that's what you did, is you played tons of sports, football, tennis, skiing, everything. And you're a very competitive person, which has gone a lot towards your success. So switching gears again, a couple more questions. As a professional tennis player, talk us through a day in the life of you when you're healthy. What does it look like? Say you've got 2 weeks at home and you're training. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it depends on what time of the year it is and how many weeks you have off. But if you have like a little training block, um, I was more of a fan of practicing longer and just once instead of two shorter sessions because of all the warm up and cool down. So usually I try to go in the gym before the hit, just to feel a little fatigue and yeah, do my strength stuff and rehab stuff, and then have a longer hit, and then after that, like take a little lunch break, and then come back into the gym and do my conditioning or fitness or whatever it was that day. And then obviously recovery is a big thing. I was lucky enough to have physio with me lately, or when I was playing last year. That definitely helps just to take care of the little pains. And yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of ice baths, so I've been doing that a lot. Also the contrast with sauna, but yeah, it's a pretty full day. I mean, especially in Florida, I started early and then just because of the heat. And yeah, it's a full day. I mean, you have some time off, but it's also like it's exhausting being outside in the heat and running around and just exhausting yourself
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah. So switching back to like going on the road, you're traveling, you're playing back to back. How many weeks in a row will you play on the road? Is it two? Is it
Mm.
three? How does your training look in that period? Is it limited? Do you only get half a court and have to hit cross with someone for 20 minutes and then you're done? Tell people what it's actually like out there.
Yeah. I always try to only play 3 or 4 in a week, 4 weeks in a row,
Four in a row.
just because, yeah, it just gets too much, and especially if you go deep in one tournament, then you're tired for the next one, so you might sometimes you pull out, or you just you keep going if you have a run. Like it depends on how you feel and how your body feels, I think. But yeah, obviously practice conditions aren't always ideal. But I was never too picky about that stuff. I'm fine just hitting half court, but like obviously some other people go crazy when they have to hit half court at tournaments. But it is what it is, especially at the smaller tournaments with lower number of courts. You just gotta deal with what you have, and I think that's also one of the things that college kind of taught me is like here it is, and you either deal with it or you don't, and then you run. So you just make the best out of it. And yeah, I think no, it's different, and you think that things get better when you're at bigger tournaments, but they don't really, because there's 258 players plus doubles players at Grand
Mhm,
Slam. So you
mhm.
play in the court 87 if you're ranked 80 in the world, and unless you're Novak Djokovic, you get the first court for like 3 hours, but the rest of the guys they just have to deal with whatever they get.
Back to investment. Who do you invest in? Coach, physio, trainer, doctor? Tell us who your team is.
Yeah, this year my team would have been a coach that was full time with me, and then a strength and conditioning guy that is also a physio, which is 2 in 1, which is actually perfect because you don't have to pay a third person, especially
So the
if you
coach
don't.
was a strength guy and a physio.
No, coach separate, and then
Yeah,
the physio strength guy together. Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's the ideal setup because a lot of people travel a lot of people. I mean, obviously those people can afford it, but especially yeah, in my ranking region, it's just not affordable to travel with 3 guys and then maybe a family member or girlfriend or whatever you have. Like it's just expensive. All the hotels, the travel, the flights. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. Off season, I did with the coach and the physio or strength guy together, and yeah, it was great. They both came to Australia. I think that would have been the ideal setup, and I'm gonna try to do it the same as long as I play because I think it's not worth like doing half things.
Got it. Do you still keep in touch with your old teammates?
I do, yes. Saw Seb Ray, who's currently in San Diego, and then obviously Constantine. There's still a lot of guys I talk to. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing that I think people need to consider when going to college is you truly meet your great friends for life. That's what I think. I still have great friends from college, and it's good to hear that you're staying in touch. So, Dom, I appreciate your time. It's great to catch up with you. We wish you all the best with your recovery and your injury, and I have no doubt that you will be back to the top 50 in the world. So, thanks for coming on, Dom, and all the best to you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.